Hi everyone! Welcome back to my channel. Sorry for my absence. I had a lot going on in my personal life. I recently changed jobs to a much better job situation now, so thank God for that. Overall, things are going a lot better than they were like maybe last fall or the beginning of this year. Things are finally starting to look up. I know it took until May, but we finally got there, so that's good. Now I can not hate everyone when they say they're doing well. So today I decided I'm gonna really do an eyebrow tutorial for you guys because I feel like my brows, they're on fleek, like that. But also a lot of people really compliment me on my eyebrows and they're like, how did you do that with your eyebrows? Wow. That's kind of crazy because I think of back in the day, I used to not care about my eyebrows. I would just take whatever dusty eyeshadow. Do you remember that? Do we remember those days? And just kind of go with the motions and fill my hairs in and no cleaning up. The shape was honestly whatever it was. Like, I look back and I'm like horrified at myself because I can't believe I allowed myself to go out in public like that. And people were telling me I looked good. Y'all were telling me I looked good. My brows looked like a Nike that was like inebriated, so it's droopy. And then a meteor crashed into it, so it's all just kinds of That's what my brows used to look like. And y'all let me go like that, saying I looked good. That's rude. But anyway, that's not what this is about. I'm just basically, I guess I can call myself an eyebrow, let's say mistress, not master. We're a mistress. Okay? So I'm gonna show you guys a lot of different ways I get all my eyebrows that you guys see in my videos. Maybe if I am technologically able enough, I will show some pictures. We'll see. So that's basically what we're doing today. It's like a tutorial, but it's like a loose tutorial because I'm just like, I didn't really want to film today. You can kind of tell by how my hair looks. This is like this is how I feel on the inside hair. So we're just kind of going with it. It's just very reflective of how I feel inside. So, Mama always told me to express how I feel. That's all I can say. So I just have on my table a bunch of different brow products that I use. They all look disgusting. I'm not even gonna show them. Like, I'll hold them up obviously as I'm using them, but like my eyebrow drawer is like the most disgusting part of my makeup collection. It is all black everywhere and red because I do red brows now. I'm sure you've noticed. And like all kinds of like bullshit and gunk, and I have paper towels laid down to try to make it a little bit easier to manage, but those are dirty too. Of course I'm terrible at changing them, so it's just always a mess. It really sometimes looks like something's about to jump out of it at you. Like, it's terrible. So all my brow products are dirty or scratched or just ugly looking. Maybe you guys can learn something from this. Maybe you want to know how to get better at doing eyebrows. Obviously, my eyebrow situation is very different. Reason being, I shave off my tail so that I can draw a brow on higher. The reason why I do this is because I feel as though drawing your brows higher on your face with a higher arch not only makes your face more feminine, but also allows you to do more with your eyeshadow and eye shape when you are applying your eye makeup, and it won't limit you as much to how high you can go. You're still able to go very high and have like very dramatic makeup, but also be able to have enough room to do all the highlight and like dimensions and really make it very cohesive. So yeah, I know most people have full eyebrows. I used to have full eyebrows. Maybe what I'll do is I'll try to simulate a full eyebrow and then show you how I would fill it in. Like, maybe I'll like draw hairs as if it's an eyebrow, I don't know, maybe. If you want to see how to do eyebrows like a something, please keep watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like what you see. Share it to the world, share it to the children. And yeah, enjoy, bye! We're gonna be very up close and personal for this video. Actually, this gives me a lot more ease because I can kind of see my focus a lot better because it's so close to my face. There's this asshole guy, I was showing him my video and he was like, I forget if he said you don't have to be so close to the camera or you don't have to be so far away. I feel like being so close is insulting. Like, am I that ugly? I don't think I'm ugly. I mean, He's a So the first type of brow I'm going to show you guys is, I guess, the brow that is just like natural. The brow that I used to do daily before I got my hair really red and decided I wanted to go back to doing a trend of having red brows. But the product I will use for this is the Mellow Cosmetics Brow Pomade. Not sponsored by Mellow Cosmetics, but I do have an affiliate link you can use to purchase Mellow Cosmetics, and you can use the code MELLOW20, I believe. I'm going to link it down below and write everything. I believe it's MELLOW20 or MELLOW10 or something. I forget. There is a code you can use to get a discount. If you use my affiliate link, I would very much appreciate the business with you. I have a lot of favorites, but I'm gonna be honest, I think this kind of beats them for now. The reason being is the shade Mocha is literally the same color as my brow hairs. The other pomades I've had are like very close. They're like, you know, in the dark brown range. But you can see my brows are not really dark brown, they're a little bit lighter. This is like exactly what color they are. But when I do my brow, I always start with my tail. I will do like a stroke right here. Drag it upward, realize I need more product. I have very little of this left. If you guys don't believe I love it this much, this is how much I have left. So I will have to have Mellow Cosmetics send me another one, please. So now we're gonna go on the top, and sometimes this is where we get a little free-handy. I'm gonna do that. Then that. You know, this is where we have our crease, this is where we have our tail, whatever. You know, it's just a sketch. It looks crazy right now. It looks kind of like how we used to, but we're gonna see just how cleaning up with concealer can help. So on the bottom here, and we're gonna draw a line just below where our hair is growing out, and we're gonna go forward. The reason why I extend my brow is because I'm a little bit wide-eyed, so if I take my head of my brow and cheat it out so it's closer, my eyes are gonna look a little bit closer together. So we're gonna just blend out this because there's a lot of excess there. I'm just seeing. I'm gonna fill in, and you guys are gonna see how perfect this color matches my brow hair. It is the same color. Like, it is the same color. There is no denying that. So what we're gonna do is clean it up. What we do now is my most important product besides the product I actually, you know, the paint. Concealer. Not just any concealer though, I can use other things, but my go-to for this technique is always going to be a pot concealer. I have at least one pot concealer of some sort in my collection at all times. The one I have right now is the Juice Beauty Organic Solution in the shade Fair. I like it. It's not the favorite I've ever used. I think my favorite I ever used was the NARS one. Oh my god, that was amazing. Not good on my face. It creases a lot. It's just too moisturizing, but it's great for my eyebrow. And this is how much I have left. I'm gonna need to get more of this as well. So I'm gonna start where I want it to be the most different, which is gonna be right here. This whole middle section is just too much. So we are going to minimize it by taking it and drawing it right under the brow. By the way, the smaller the brush, the better. This is a tiny bitty witty Real Techniques brush. It is a flat brush. It is very great for painting a line, and then it also has enough blending power to blend it down. So it's a very great brush for like detail work like this. It's amazing. I have others I like as well, but if I'm gonna pick one, it's gonna be this one, just because of the size of it. It's just perfect, perfect, perfect. We're gonna just paint, and we are covering up some of what we did because we don't like some of what we did. I need this to be a lot smaller because I need it to be more similar to the shape of my brow if it's going to be anything convincing. It's already a little better. It's already kind of like tamed down. I'm going to also carve right here. This is kind of how I do my brows when they go wrong. And we can see that's a little more flattering as well. Dip back into the concealer, and we are going to just go right underneath to carve a tail. Now I'm gonna blend it down, and the way I do this is I just go from the top as high as I can go without disturbing the brow, If I disturb it a little, I can fix it. It's not the end of the world. The thing you have to remember though is if you do it this way, because you are taking off some of the product with your brush, you will end up having a little bit. So you need to remember to either wipe the brush in between to get that product off that you drag from your brow, which is clearly I forgot to do that. So what I'm going to do instead is really just blend this in and make sure just that color of the brow is not visible. So as you can see up close, it is still a little bit jagged. It's definitely not quite there yet. We have a good general shape, but we definitely need that jaggedness on the bottom to go away. Because a lot of this is concealer, I'm now getting more dirty on, so what I'll actually do is actually go back to the brush. And first I'll see, sometimes there's enough product on the brush where I don't even have to dip in. I can just trace, fill those gaps in. Sometimes it's better to do it with concealer, sometimes it's better to do it with brush. You have to kind of pick and choose and decide for yourself. That's a pretty good brow. Then I'll do is I will blend the concealer out, obviously, so we don't have concealer. So yeah, definitely want to make sure when you do this, you aim the arch where you want to aim it. You need to realize like where you want it to be. Like, do you want it to be up here, here? Obviously, if you are doing your brows when you have a whole eyebrow, you typically will just follow your brow. You won't really cheat your brow without covering the original one up, you know what I mean? So you don't have to worry so much about that. That's more specifically for people who have my situation. Focus where you want your arch to be, get there. Really make sure the other is the same way. Something a lot of makeup artists recommend that I really want to get into doing is doing the side you struggle with first. You can easily make the other side match it. But if you do once the left side you're good at perfectly, you might not be able to get it as good on the left side, you know what I mean? Something just keep in mind, something that I also have to do. As you can see, my brow is very high arched right now. I think my actual brow hairs are like over here. So it's definitely a significant difference. You can see my hair is like just slightly under the line. You definitely want it to be so it's completely under the line. So what I'm actually do is make it so it's more like that. Draw a line, making sure it's exactly where our brow hair grows. Because having it where you have any brow hair under is going to destroy the illusion immediately. At this point, and this is why when you shape your brows, you need to remember to shave off enough down here where you can draw them higher without it looking too unnatural. Does that make sense? Because if you have a line where like your brow ends, then you have hairs growing underneath it, it's kind of, you're not really convincing anyone of anything. Now we are pretty well underneath, but now we have the issue of our brow is not really fully matching with our tail now because we drew the line lower and now it's like there's a weird gap there, so we have to fill that gap in. Like that. Obviously, I do this a lot quicker because I know how to do it. And it's a lot easier to do it if you're not doing it in front of camera. So, you know. I think if we carve it again, it's gonna be sickening, bitch. Let's do it, bitch. Now we're gonna carve this just as we did before. Carving is good if you have time. It really is. It's almost always gonna make the brow look better. And yeah, I know it's a lot of back and forth, but I really do this because I'm a bit sociopathic with my makeup, in case you haven't noticed. So yeah. Red brows. I don't really have a specific product I use because I use a lot and use whatever. I kind of just have a bunch of red toned, reddish brown liquid lipsticks that would work. Be a convincing brow color to match my hair. Our brows and hair, the one's brow color and one's hair color do not match exactly anyway. Become bright red by using the Kat Von D Brow Pomade. This one's pretty dried out. I keep trying to rejuvenate it. It keeps drying out on me. What I used lately for my brows are liquid lipsticks, and they've been lasting really well too because, you know, liquid lipsticks we know have, at least if they're formulated well, have good lasting power. And another thing interesting about this is that I have never really been a huge fan of the Colourpop matte lipstick formula. I find it stays, but it's so ridiculously drying that it just destroys the entire surface of your lips. That's really dramatic. It doesn't do that. It just really dries them out a lot, and it's really uncomfortable, and you're gonna be slapping on the chapstick afterwards. However, I'm realizing that they're really good for eyebrows because they last so well, and obviously I don't have that same issue of my eyebrows drying as I do my lips drying. So I actually, despite not liking them as a lip formula, still have a use for them. So lately the color I've been using is the shade Lovebug from Colourpop. I will use it by itself in a rush. If I want to do a little more detail work, I will also incorporate Kat Von D liquid lipstick in Lolita 2. I have a big one back there, and I also have the second one that I got. I just recently acquired all these like new lipsticks. Typically, I'm going to show you guys how I do it when I use both. So I start with the Kat Von D one. It's a little bit lighter. Orangey. Running out of power. This might be a two-part series, guys, because I feel like I'm going too long. I'm just planning on doing colored brows as well, but I think I might do that just in like another video. Because, it's getting late and there's no power left, so we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna try to be a little more short with this one. We're gonna go like very slowly and really just form the top and bottom as we go, kind of alternating. We're gonna fill it in. Then we are going to do an extension, making sure that it is on the bottom of our hairs. And then we're going to draw upward, just kind of mimic hair strokes along that new line we created, and it's really going to create the illusion of an eyebrow. Then I will draw a little bit on the top. We're not dipping back in because it kind of helps us if we go a little lighter to stencil it out before actually committing to anything. Then we're going to fill in everything so it has full pigmentation. Okay, so I didn't show this before, but to color my hair, because it's obviously not red, first I go against the grain to really get underneath the hair. And then I will go back with the grain in the direction of hair. This is how I will make my hairs blend with everything. We're gonna carve it. I don't really do it exactly the same every time because I don't really have a tail. I have to make it up every time. So, is it exactly the same every time? No. So yeah, we are gonna definitely make this one a little thinner as well, because I don't really want a giant brow like that. Not done carving, but I'm gonna show you what I do now with Lovebug. I'm gonna take that and I'm only gonna apply it here, because I feel like because it's a little darker, it really helps the little bit of brown that's peeking through go away, and everything just kind of merges together a little bit better. I will extend it a little bit to the tail, but not really all the way. I guess I just did do it all the way. But usually I will just do the front and back of my actual brow hair, where it starts and where it ends. I feel like talking about my brows is so complicated because I have to be like, okay, like my actual brow, and then the fake one I drew, but then the fake I drew over the real one. It's all like Okay, one more thing I want to show you really quickly is brow gel. This is a Soap & Glory eye pencil I hate, but I like the brow gel. Obviously, I don't gel the actual brow I drew on. I only gel my actual hairs. some reason they're not as bad on this one as this one. At times, and usually sometimes this will be tinted, so I have to recolor my color with it, or even if it's like clear, it will have like residual product that I use in another brow. Like it had residual from when I did it on here, which I never showed. And yeah, that's all I wanted to show you guys. And I'm just gonna add more color to that to conceal it. I got them in a pretty good place. One thing I did want to talk about is brow shaving and grooming. I cannot really recommend you guys the way I shave my brows because I use a Gillette razor, 5 blades. I go like, very dangerous. I don't recommend it. Do not do that. You will cut your face. You can cause serious damage if the blade slips. I used to be all like, with the precise tools, but I'm a little too fussy now for that. I just want to get it done, and I do it so often, I'm like, I can't. So I just do that. But I recommend, if you're not me, something like this. It's like, sort of like a little razor, and you can like turn it on. This one's dead, and it like vibrates. I'm gonna show you guys a little bit closer. These are like little tiny, tiny blades, and you can just like press and like shave more precisely and more gently. I think typically this product is used to get rid of like peach fuzz, but I personally think it is a good thing to use for brow hair as well. That is pretty much it. This is gonna have to be a 2-part because my camera's dying. We will do a color brow next time. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Thank you guys so much for watching. Love y'all. Bye. Subscribe.